Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SF1 Realistic Tier on Sunday Night Racing for round 6 in the championship here at a very wet Singapore Grand Prix held around the Marina Bay Circuit. I'll pop up some track information for you guys. 14 drivers this evening have made it. A couple have ticked, but they didn't show up. I'm calling out you guys like Panta and Shimon. But hopefully you guys get back in next week. But yeah, the rain has fallen here for short qualifying. We did opt to go to short qualifying for this evening. It's supposed to be full, but we're going to go short anyways. Just sitting in the pits with ABR Ryan right now. Man is on a tear. Second in the championship. I'll give you guys a full points rundown as soon as these guys load up for their 5-minute complimentary break after qualifying heading into the race. But as you guys can see, full wets are definitely in for this evening. See how these guys get on with a full wet compound, trying to take on qualifying. Turned up the volume in my headset just a bit. We're on board with operator, the man that we're going to ride on board with this evening. I didn't want to let him know. I'm going to keep it a surprise actually this week, most weeks. But Bilges, the guy in the Alpine, doing a wonderful job in the Alpine, getting at a podium last week, P2 in the Belgian Grand Prix. If you haven't checked out that race, make sure you jump over to our Twitch or YouTube and have a gander. It was quite a crazy race. I believe that we're supposed to have a memorial for lap, I believe it's lap 7. A lot of guys having an incident in that lap. It was a bunch of bizarre incidents where people were losing the back end of their cars and just crashing out. I think we dropped 3 or 4 guys in all of one lap. We'll see how the Mercedes duo. Morris is going to reserve this evening for Phil. Phil's out. So we'll see this man having a podium in the British Grand Prix in that very same Merc. His teammate SF1 Molly back in this evening, opting from the Mercedes and going into the McLaren field. I know this rain is supposed to start settling down a bit in about 15 to 30 minutes. So we'll see how wet this track stays and if it's going to be full wets for the entire 14 minutes. But for this track, excuse me. Talking too much. This track pretty much brought onto the F1 calendar in 2008. And they built it around Singapore streets. So this is considered a street circuit, one of the most grueling and longest races on the calendar. 31 laps these drivers are going to have to contend with. That is only halfway distance, 50%. So let's see how these guys get on this evening. It'll be interesting. We have 14. How many can survive this race? Brand new driver returns back to SF1. Man won a lot of classic championships back when we ran out in 2018 and 2019. RSF1 Carito is here in that Williams, full-time driver. See how he gets on. Man is quick and classic. We'll see how he puts that on for realistic this evening. We'll wait for this man to run a lap here. And he's getting ready to run a lap. So let's drive on board with the man, Bilges, and get his hot lap info up on the screen and watch a flying lap around a very soaked Singapore Grand Prix track, or the Marina Bay Circuit track, however you want to call it. Goes into turn 1 nicely, rides those curbs on turn 2, around the hairpin, gets a little bit of the curb, easy on the throttle. Sector 3 yellow, what is that for? Looks like it's cleared by now. Bristow, Paps goes quickest in Alfa Romeo for the time being. You can see Bill very gingerly on that throttle. Sector 1 yellow, that is behind. The Bill has the purple. Sector 1 is probably his best, not his best, but his session best, not the actual session best. Nicely done. You can see very easy on the throttle. Can't even go full throttle, goes a bit wide into that corner. Gonna hinder his exit just a tad. Your braking points are gonna have to be a lot earlier in this rain. Looks like the guys are doing quite well, especially Bill right now, handling the Alpine as much as he can. I think he's just trying to survive this lap. Take it caution, turn by turn, and see what he can squeeze out of that Alpine this evening in this lap. Nicely done. I'm just kind of, I'm almost nail biting right now watching these guys try to struggle with these cars around this track when it's raining. I believe the race is supposed to be fully dry, so we'll see how that affects the drivers. Wonder if anybody has gone for a completely dry setup, and trying to do a lap around Singapore in the wet with a dry setup is going to be definitely difficult. Bill coming up to the last left-hander corner to set a lap here for his first go around the Marina Bay Circuit here in qualifying. Crosses the line, goes P4 with a 58.9. Good to survive his lap. So Ross has retired. Has he retired on track? He has. The AlphaTauri driver has crashed out here in quali from P2 with a 59.7. Paps goes quicker again with a 56.8. Morris holding on to P3. Jake in that Ferrari leading the championship right now. Has no front wing, so he's definitely going to have to go back to the pits and sort that. But sitting P4, Seal goes to P3 with a 58.5. Seal moving from the Alfa Romeo team up to the Aston Martin team. Who's popped in there, Sector 3 yellow. That is a Ferrari of Jake Wilson, I believe, getting out of the way from the Mercedes. I believe that's Robbo who's going through. It was. Robbo trying to put a time on the board. Ryan sitting in the pits, wonder if he's waiting for the session to go a little slower. Seal has retired as well on the exit of turn 3 or 4. Wonder if anybody's going to be bold enough to go for the intermediates if this rain does start to subside a bit. See what your face can do. Definitely tricky conditions. So right now, as it stands, Paps would take pole position in that Alfa Romeo, outperforming the Alfa Romeo quite a bit. Morris gets himself up to P2, closing in on Paps' time, but still about 8/10 separate the two. I believe that rain is starting to lighten up just a bit, but it's not going to be intermediates anytime soon. They could have about 2 minutes worth of intermediates. Allow your face goes to P4 with a 58.1, just ahead of Bravo in that Mercedes, so really good job by the Ferrari driver. His teammate Jake sitting at a 58.9. Jake winning the Belgian Grand Prix in a Ferrari after the madness that ensued afterwards, or during the race, as Bill has invalidated his lap. Moley sitting at a 59.2. Just have a car right behind him. It is the Alfa Romeo. Wonder if that's Ryan. That is Ryan, just behind the McLaren. Both on an Moley might be on a flyer. Ryan is on an outlap as it stands. Elise going for an outlap. Hub D is sitting in the pits. Wondering if he's just waiting for a little bit of a clear weather hit, if it does hit at all. But we'll see what the boys, Operator Ryan and Elise, can do. If Operator can get a good competitive time on the board. See, the rain is still falling quite heavily, so it's not going to go intermediates, I don't think. It's going to be a full wet quali session here for round 6. The guy's picking on me in the chat too about my splitter cable. So the way I pick up your audio for podium interviews is I have to use a splitter cable that splits the audio from the game into my capture card, and that way you guys can hear me talk, but I can hear you guys, and the capture card picks you guys up as well. That wire is cheaply made by Elgato, and I've seen reviews on it. I had to buy one, and unfortunately a lot of people have problems with them crapping out after, I would say, a couple months, and that's what happened to mine, so I'm gonna have to get a replacement. But until then, can't do podium interviews, but I'll make sure that I purchase a new one. They're only a couple dollars here and there. I just gotta get it here, so I can hopefully get an interview session going back into next week. Take a look at where we're at next week too. as we ride on board with operator trying to set a pole, or not a pole. It would be nice to put him on pole. Trying to set a quality lap here in his Red Bull. Take a look at where we're at next week. Have to go to the calendar. Ah, okay. Very familiar place we're going to be at next week. The guys that especially run tier 2 and 3. Ryan has decided to box, as well as Elise. Hubdy's still sitting in the pits. RSF1 Carrito. I gotta get used to saying RSF1. RSF1 Carrito sitting in the pits on 159.7. Paps still holding on to that top time at 56.4. Can operator get a time on the board? It looks like the rain has lessened. It looks like Carrito's gonna go for a intermediate push. Operator goes with 2:01, but he does get his time on the board. Let's see what happens with 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here. But if anybody else is really pushing, Jake look like he's pushing on a wet compound. If he can't get himself further up that board, maybe close enough to allow your face. In through the tunnel. Sector 2 and 3 yellow. See if Jake can get himself further on the board than P9. Molly goes to P8. He goes up to P5. Allow Your Face goes to P3. So a potential good start this evening for the Ferrari team. You guys will never believe who is leading the Constructors Championship at this point. It's kind of an eye-opener. I got pinged on something. Alright, so Penta is here this evening. He's going to jump in after quality. So we're going to have 15 drivers. So, intermediates for Paps, who is currently on pole position, or provisional pole position. Morris is going to go out on an intermediate compound. Molly's going to go for it. Carrito's going to go for it. ABR Ryan is going to go for it. Elise is going to go for it. Let's take a look at Ryan. I thought this man was running a wheel, and apparently he's actually running a controller, a pad, if you will. See if he can't get temperature in these intermediates and give it a go. So Ross and Seal kind of sliding down the times. They might miss out on it, improving on the time if it is definitely intermediate conditions. It looks like the rain has lessened. The track is drying just a bit. There's still a lot of puddles out on there. Allow Your Face goes up to P2. Perhaps just sitting in the pits, probably waiting for the track to improve just a bit more and give it one final go. See if Robbo pulls into the pits. Where are we at? 2 minutes. Oh, he's going to be out of time. Morris is going to go for it in that Mercedes. Can he pop a pole position out of that Mercedes this evening? He's on the intermediate compound. Man who has won has a lot of reserve points. We'll show you his points coming up. Currently on pole right now with an Alfa Romeo. Maybe I should have gave Paps a Haas this evening. Take a look down through the field. Bill on 5-lap old wets. Can he improve and get further up than P5? We're a minute and 28 seconds away from finding out who's going to get pole position here for the Singapore Grand Prix. Molly on an out lap. I think he's pulling over. Yep, he's clear now. I believe that was Allow Your Face who's gone through. Allow Your Face on wets. Bravo on wets. He's going to pull into the pits and call it a quali session for sure. He's out of time. With only a minute to go, he's not going to be able to get in and get out. See if Allow Your Face does the same. Unless he's going to continue to push. Let's jump on board with this man. He's still on an out lap. Who might be on a flyer? Operator is retired from P11. Ryan on an out lap. Bravo is retired. Elise, let's check out Elise, who is currently on a flyer. No time on the board, so that purple sector 2 is his personal best. See if he can't put an Alpine up on the starting front row grid. Alright, I'm going to have to invite Pantas, so give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. As I was inviting Panta, I saw Elise go around the corner and completely just destroy the Alpine car. So that's him done with his session. Paps, see what he can do in that Alfa Romeo. Final lap to go. Morris attacking. Carrito on a flyer here in the Williams. Wilson on a intermediate. He's going to be done for the session. 157.9. Brian goes quickest with the Alfa Romeo. 155.5. Can Paps beat it? Two teammates. Can we have two Alfa Romeos starting on the front row here? That would be absolutely crazy. The rain really helped these guys for sure. We'll see how the race carries on through. See if this man can't nab a pole. He does set the purple sector 2. CSC Morris goes quickest with a 155.3. It's 2/10 up on Ryan's time in that Alfa Romeo. Can Paps have something to say about that? Right now, Mercedes holding on, spoiling the Alfa Romeo 1-2. Paps a few corners to go. We have Molly going up to P3, splitting the Alfa Romeo as it stands. Paps is setting purple sector, so can he put a faster time on the board than a 56.4? Where is he going to be located in terms of quality positions? He's going to go pole position in that Alfa Romeo. So, breaking out qualifying, a wet qualifying here for round 6. We have Paps in the Alfa Romeo going pole position. Morris P2. Ryan P3, Molly P4, Allow Your Faces P5, we have Rabo P6, Carrito P7, we have Bilges P8, Jake Wilson, who has a penalty to his name, might be starting further down. In P9 we have Ross in P10, Seals P11, Operator P12, and Elise and Hubby without a time on the board, and I believe Panda should have gotten himself in, so we'll have 15. Panda will be starting P15. So we'll load up for that 5-minute complimentary break, and I'll give you guys a rundown of the championship points so far. Now I'm going to rest my voice and wait for these guys to get ready to go racing. And I got the nice black screen. Hopefully that ticks away. There we go. Oh, there is a bit of rain going into this race, so this could be interesting. But, oh, who clicked ready? It's gonna probably be a lobby restart. 1 sec. 1 sec. We're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to probably have a lobby restart, so give us about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be right back. Alright, loading back in, ladies and gentlemen, after a quick break. Got everything sorted in the new lobby. Hopefully this one's solid. Give you guys a rundown of the championship points as we load up. Just waiting on the guys to tick the boxes. One thing to do, remember your setups, ladies and gentlemen. Or drivers, that is. Remember those setups. I'm going to put a thing up there. All right. Now that we're sorry, the horse. Now that we're in the new lobby, I can give you guys a look at the points running into this evening's round 6. I'm gonna give you guys a look at a shocker. The constructors right now is being led by the AlphaTauri team in P1. Mercedes is P2. Red Bull slipped last week to P3. We have Aston Martin holding on to 4th. We have Alpine in 5th. Then we have Ferrari moving their way up the field with Jake Wilson's win at the Belgian Grand Prix. Holding on to 6th, we have McLaren slipping to 7th. We have Williams dropping a bit down to 8th. We'll see what the Alfa Romeo team can do. 2 fast drivers this evening holding on to 9th. And Haas right now, no drivers this evening on the grid for them. They're going to stay 10th, I'm sure. But give you guys a look at the drivers' points so far leading into round 6. We have Wilson holding on to the lead, a commanding lead going into round 6. Sitting in that Ferrari, did a lot of his points gaining in the Red Bull, so he was buffed to Ferrari, but still somehow managed to win the Belgian Grand Prix in a Ferrari. Maybe Ryan holding on second. We have Bill in P3. Oh, my numbers didn't show up on the side. Must have forgot to unlock them, but we have Moley in 4th. We have Ross in 5th. Alawi Face is 6th. We have Robbo in 7th. Hubdy is 8th. SF1 Stig not here this evening, as well as Phil, 9th and 10th. Panta finally getting here back this week. Good to see him. He's in 11th. Operator sitting 12th. Cressy Football not here this evening. You'll see Paps in his car. We have Seal in 14th. Your Robbie still not here this evening. Send him a couple invites. Hopefully get in touch with him, see what's going on. Elise is 16th. We have Shimon 17th. And Kirito, his first race for Realistic. He tried to jump in last week but had connection issues. Let's see what he can do in that Williams this evening. Give you a quick rundown of the reserve points. As you'll see, one of the reserves this evening is definitely here. He is leading the reserve points. Paps is in first. We have Morris. Can he do some damage to Paps in his time? Sitting in P2. Canton not here this evening. Devla racing last week, having a bit of a stinker at the Belgian Grand Prix. We have Bumbledore in 5th, and that will do it for the reserves. But looks like these guys are about ready to go racing, so I'm going to keep the screen clear. Rest my voice for just a second. We'll wait for those 5 red lights to go here at Singapore. I did see a couple carbon fiber pieces flying. I'm not sure when I turn my mic back on. I do apologize. But yeah, what a crazy start that was. 5 red lights go out. Looks like we're back to racing. Maybe Orion getting caught out just a tad. Let's see what Morris can do in that Mercedes. Goes a bit deep in that corner. Probably the dirty air from that Alfa Romeo just ahead. Keep an eye on these deltas. Ryan 1.1 out of pass, 1.2 now. Carrito holding on to P5 in that Williams. Really good show so far. Operator moves up from Elise. Elise and Operator. Oh, that was close. A very squeezed entry there. Ooh, Operator tags the wall. No damage to the front wing. Pap sets a quick lap. First lap, so that's all. I don't wish. Oh, Elise tags the wall. Wonder if there's damage to the Alpine. No damage as of yet. Wonder if he has any side pod damage. Oh, looks like Wilson's going to go for a look. Will he have a run down into turn 1? Who's going to hold behind? Patience is a virtue, especially at the Singapore Grand Prix. Both AlphaTauri drivers battling for position. Hubdy up to P9. Ross down to P10. Lap 2 out of 31. It is a long race here, ladies and gentlemen. We have quite a ways to go. Molly trying to chase down Bravo. His old team ahead of him, the Mercedes team. Where's the gap at the front? Can't believe a Haas. I can't believe I'm mentioning that a Haas is actually winning the Singapore Grand Prix. I wonder if that's going to change once it starts to dry up. And these teams like Morris will have a little bit more pace. It's as long as they can hold on with the leaders ahead of them. He does have a Liar Face just behind. Carrito doing a wonderful job in that Williams right now, holding on to P5. What has happened to Bravo? Bravo's out a moment. He's going to wait for the guys to pass through. Something has happened to Bravo. I don't know if he's just gone deeper or if he's just pushed out wide, but it doesn't look like, oh, Bravo's left the session. Hopefully he can get himself back in. He's going to lose a lot of time to these guys. Morris holding on to 1.7 second gap. We're going to wait for this rain to dissipate. I know it's going to come about middle of the race. We'll see how... Oh, jeez. Carrito slams the wall hard. No damage, though. You guys are getting away with a couple of clips on the wall. Ollie holding on to P6. He does have Bill chasing him down in that Alpine. And the two AlphaTauris, Bill's old team, chasing him down. Let's jump on board with Ross. Oh, Hubs. That was close. Caught that AlphaTauri just in time. He's going to have a look back at his teammate, though. Heading into this turn, it's going to be quite a squeeze. Oh, they're going to hold side by side. Is Hubdy going to surrender here? Oh, don't go side. Okay, Hubdy does surrender. That is good teamwork. Good racing by the team. But that's going to allow Molly and Bill to kind of scoot away from these guys ahead. Molly is getting chased down by Bill. Right now, Paps holds at 1.5 to Ryan sitting P2. Can Morris collect those guys? Get closer. He is in a podium position right now. Nobody here lap 3 has a penalty to their name, so good to see so far. How's Jake chasing down Elise just ahead of him? Does have Operator ahead as well. Elise having a hard time trying to get past these guys. Bravo gets back into the session. Good to see. Elise makes a long rounded move to get around Operator in that Red Bull. Looks like Wilson's going to pass Operator. Operator goes a bit deep. Wilson's up to P12. Apps is just flying in that Haas, and that is really weird for me to say that. Bravo's already got himself 1.8 behind Operator. Is Operator suffering from some kind of damage? No, he's still alive. His wing is still alive. But Rabo is catching him quickly. My Delta is all screwy again. I thought they fixed that. I wish they would have. The rain, it's still falling. I thought it was gone for a second. Molly is catching Carrito just ahead of him. Jump on board with this battle. Actually, let's look at the rear view mirror of Carrito's Williams with Molly chasing him down. And we have Bill right there in that Alpine. Operator gets a first penalty of this evening, 3 seconds to his name. I think my Delta has gone screwy because of Rabo, unfortunately, losing connection and getting himself back in. So we'll see what happens. We have Ross that is right behind Bill. He is catching this pack too. Here we go. Can Molly get a run on the Williams? Bill goes in a bit deep. Molly looks for the outside. Nothing's gonna go there just yet. Gotta hold on to the position as best you can. Let's ride with Bill for a couple corners here with this nice battle going on for P5. Ross has put himself into the picture in case anything happens. There we go. My Delta's starting to come back after these guys pass. Molly having a look at Carrito. Can he get a move done here going into turn one? Sure, he's using ERS. Not gonna happen just yet. The rain is still slightly falling, but that line of dryness is starting to show. Which means these cars like the Williams and the Haas is gonna start to suffer just a bit more. A lack of pace compared to the faster teams like Merc. Here goes Molly. Here goes Alpine of Bill. Here goes Ross. Let's jump on board with Ross. Watching this battle happen ahead of him. Is Molly gonna have a look? No, he's gonna stay patient. These guys all nicely done so far. I'm not sure what happened to Panther. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Oh, Carrito goes a bit deep in that corner. Opens up a look for Molly. Molly's trying everything to get around that Williams. Seal is coming up on these guys as well. Seal could have a look. At least gets a 3-second time penalty. I'm gonna stay with Bill. If you guys do pardon me for 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping an eye on these battles going on. Track. It has stopped raining, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm thinking maybe only 2 more laps at best that we're going to be on these intermediates because the track is going to dry out relatively quickly. As you see Ross looking at him, look in the inside of Bill. A little too far back, so backs out. But this battle going on for P5 is going to spice up. DRS, I'm sure, is going to come back online here any second. Paps is now losing out to Ryan in that Alfa Romeo. Morris, let's see if he can get himself closer. Everybody just following each other very nicely. Already lap 6 out of 31 here. This is probably one of the cleanest Singapore races I've watched in a long time. Take a look at these guys. Ryan is starting to catch Paps ahead of him. See if he can have a look. Morris is not too far off. He is starting to put that power down in that Mercedes. He should be pulling up close to him. Allow your face holding on to P4 quite nicely. Carrito still under fire with Molly and Bill just behind. We have a Sector 2 yellow. What could that be from? It's Operator. Operator is out of this race. No safety cars of yet. Unfortunate for Operator, unless that happened. It just happened recently, so unfortunately he must have lost his car somewhere. Conditions are gonna be getting trickier as the track starts to dry out and these guys are on used meat or intermediates. Morris sets the fastest lap, so that power in that Mercedes is starting to come alive. The drier this track gets, the more pace he can put and catch these guys ahead of him. Allow your face 3.7 behind. Carito still battling. He's gonna have a handful with that McLaren just behind him now. Molly's gonna go for an outside look. As Elise is gonna die for the pits. Is he gonna be the first one to put on a dry compound? Keep an eye on that guy in the pits. Oh, Bill catches the car, the Alpine. Let's jump on board. Oh, Seal has put himself in the talking. Elise has gone for a soft compound, so first driver. Oh, Bill and Ross. Oh, Bill. Ooh. Oh, no, Bill. Bill takes off his front wing entirely. Yeah, conditions are getting right in that crossover point, so it's going to be really tricky for these guys to hold on to these cars. Bill, unfortunately, a victim of that, hits the wall hard and takes out his entire front wing. Bravo, thought Codemasters fixed the wheels issues. Bravo, I was actually talking about that to some of the guys today. That's the reason why I'm in the comms booth more these days than I am racing, because mine cuts all the time, about 15 to 20 minutes on the game. It'll cut straight from Xbox to PC mode, and it will not. I've done everything. I've reinstalled the game. I've updated the firmware on the wheel, cleaned all the connections, everything, and it still doesn't. So it's probably the least amount of laps I put on an F1 game in years, and it's this game. So at least, no, Bill's gonna die for the pits. So both Alpines right now, unfortunately, right down in P12 and P13. At least, let's take a look how this track is on these soft compounds. Is the track ready for a soft compound? Take an eye on the delta between himself and his teammate. He is, he's taking time out. Bill does have a front wing that is missing. Hubs is going to pull into the pits, putting Rob up P10. Take a look at Morris is now starting to catch Ryan just ahead. Allow your face holding on to P4. And man, Carito still having a battle here with SF1 Molly. He's going to have a look going into this turn. Now he's going to back out. Ross is going to think about the outside move. This is showing you a reason why this AlphaTauri team is leading the Constructors' Championship. He's going to look for the inside look at Bravo, or not Bravo, Molly. Molly's still there. Who's going to back out first? Ross gets around Molly. And there is a big battle going on. Our championship leaders battling Seal. And then Aston Martin puts himself up to P8 after having some kind of incident or moment at the beginning of this race. And what happened with Panta, I'm not sure. Once that DRS is activated. Yep, there it is. I'm sure these guys are going to all die for the pits. Keep an eye on that. What happens to these guys? Are they going to die for the pits? There is still a lot of water coming off of those tires. Our leader is in for his pit stop. Is Ryan coming in? Yes, he is. Morris is also coming in. Pit lane is going to get really busy here in a matter of a couple moments. Allow your face coming in. What tire is Paps going to go to? Pulling into that hatch, he's going to go for the medium compound. Where is Ryan going to go? He's going to go mediums. How about allow your face in that Ferrari team? He's going for another set of intermediates. That is probably not what he wanted to do. He's going to be caught out by that. Morris goes for a medium compound. I have a feeling a lot of these guys following suit of the leader, perhaps back out on track. Maybe Orion now out on track. Allow Your Face unfortunately puts on another set of intermediates. He's gonna probably have to pit yet again. Everybody going out for a medium compound except for Bill and Elise, who've gone for a soft compound, which they can get temperature on those. Oh, Elise might have a look here at Carito. Goes on the inside. Carito's still there. DRS is gonna be Elise's though. This might be a move for Elise. Gonna tuck behind that Williams and have a go here with DRS. Is he getting close enough? Ow. Carito held on to that line quite nicely. Oh, a bit of a bump. Oh. Jake Wilson, championship leader, finding himself in P10 right now behind Elise. It was on a soft compound, but does have a time penalty to his name. The gap at the top. Oh no, Ryan has gotten himself a 3-second time penalty. Allow Your Face is going to fall victim to Morris really quickly at being on an intermediate compound. Jump on board. Is Allow Your Face going to allow Morris to pass him? Oh, Morris, that was close. Allow Your Face gets his 3-second time penalty. Morris is going to have to be patient. Doesn't look like Allow Your Face is in the mood to give anybody some sort of position without earning it. Oh yeah, he's going to late break him. Morris is passed. Oh, they're still struggling on those soft compounds, though. Or not soft compound, but the dry compound. Allow Your Face is going to pull into the pits. This is going to be detrimental to his position he had. His progress he had in this race. Ross is going to pass. Moley is going to pass. Seal is going to pass. Carito is going to pass him. Elise is going to get past him. Elise gets the fastest lap of the race. Hubdy snubs that out with a 148.1. It's going to get spicy. Where's Bill now? Allow Your Face is on his exit, so he's going to have a little battle with the Alpine coming up just behind. Bill sets the fastest lap of the race. Bill's 1.2 out behind Allow Your Face. Keep an eye on the lead. Paps is just... I have no idea how he got an 8-second gap between himself and Ryan. But Morris, 8 seconds now. And he get closer to the guys ahead. Ross sitting in P4. Does have Moley just behind. Where is the closest battle? We have a big battle now going on. Carito with Wilson, Elise, and Rava all looking for a shot here for P7. Jake's gonna go for a move on Carito. Oh, there's a bit. Oh no! A late dive sees Jake go straight into the wall. Ryan sets the fastest lap of the race. This is gonna get interesting. Jake has front end damage. He's got Hubdy and Carito right behind him. Let him go through. Let him go through. Oh, that's gonna be creamed. Yeah, that's a bit dangerous. I am surprised that they all made it through. Jake's now halfway spun. Allow Your Face gets through his teammates, so Jake's going to have to box. This is going to hurt his championship points. With Ryan being in P2, it could get a lot closer. Morris up to P3, Ross holding on to P4. Bill's back up to P11. Carito pulls into the pits, as well as Jake. New front wings going on for both the Williams and the Ferrari. See what happens here. What is the closest gap to these guys now? They're a bit spaced out. I wonder if a safety car, a late safety car, might shake this up quite a bit. So Paps, that's the quickest lap of the race. Delta Ryan's snubbed that out with a 41.9 so far. Keep an eye on the Delta. My daughter is standing right here next to me. She's kind of interested in what you guys are doing. Morris sets the fastest lap with that Merc. More what you expect to see from these guys. Now we have a battle with Bravo looking at the front of Seal just ahead of him. Allow Your Face moves past Elise. Elise pulls into the pits. Can Bravo get a move done here past the Aston Martin ahead of him? Take a look. Here comes Bravo with the DRS. He's gonna go to the inside. Oh, has he thrown a little bit deep? No. Job done by Bravo. Nice move. Up to P6 for the Mercedes team. Take a look at some of the others. We got a Sector 1 yellow. What is that for? Take a look. I didn't see anything. And Bravo now chase down that McLaren ahead of him. Moley and go up to P5. Ross holding on to P4. Does have Moley behind him. Keep an eye on the gap between Morris and Ryan. Merc versus Alfa Romeo shouldn't be too much of a challenge. I know Morris has a lot of pace as it's been having a wonderful second part of the season in Tier 3. Seal gets himself a 3-second time penalty. It's going to say this quickly for all the guys that did show up this evening having 15 car grid. Massive thank you for you guys. Oh, Morris gets sideways, almost sideways. Catches the back end of that Mercedes. 5.9, you can tell how hard he's pushing. He wants to get to the back end of that Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Paps' lead has been cut down just a tad bit between himself and Ryan. Ryan's starting to put a little bit more pace in that Alfa Romeo compared to Paps' Haas. 6 point, or just about 7 seconds. Morris, 5.9. Still trying to hold on to the back of Bravo's Merc. Might be a tall order with the pace. Carrito now on the back of Elise. Williams versus Alpine. Oh no, what has happened with Bill? Safety car, ladies and gentlemen. We have a full safety car. Where has Bill gone? Let's take a ride on board with Elise and find out where this might have happened. Jake Wilson gets a 5-second for speeding into the pit lane. He's gonna have to serve that at his next pit stop, or where has Bill gone? Somewhere around there. Jake puts on a hard compound. Gonna put him right back into the fight of this. Paps is gonna get stuck in. Or Ryan's gonna die for the pits as well. This is gonna help Allow Your Face, who unfortunately went out on a second intermediate compound. It's right on board with Paps. He picks up his brand new medium compound. Should relatively take him to the end. Alright, our leader right now, Paps, has fallen right behind the safety car. So we'll wait for everybody. Let's see, actually, let's take a look here. Ross has gone soft compound, as Moley has done the same. Wonder if they're banking on another safety car. Carrito has gone for a hard compound. Wilson has gone for a hard compound. And a lot of the other guys are going to try to take a medium compound to the end. You guys hear me winding up a little dinosaur? It's my daughter. She wants a little dinosaur wound up, so I'm going to do that while we're under safety car. Ryan has pulled up behind Paps. Morris is there as well. Let's get a nice little camera view. So my question, can these guys running the mediums, the fresh mediums, take those to the end? What is going to happen with Ryan and Paps when it comes to the pace, you know, compared to the Haas Alfa Romeo when they have Morris behind them in a Mercedes? I mean, even the AlphaTauri right there of Ross, we have Molly in that McLaren. We'll see. Where's everybody else at? There goes everybody in turn one. Hubdy now coming up. Ferrari coming in. Where's the rest of them? Carrito. A little bit of the ways down. We have Elise there. And Jake. Still a little bit of ways to pick up the tail end of the pack. But they might be able to do so at the end of this lap. Take a look at the situation. Oh, Bravo has gotten himself a 5-second for ignoring yellow flags. So that is going to definitely hinder his race towards the end of this race. Let's see how penalties play in when it comes to time to cross that flag, the checkered flag. Let's see where these guys land themselves. Ryan right now, top of the podium step, guys, with the only time penalty to his name. I believe it's a 3-second. 15 out of 31, just about halfway through this race. As I mentioned, it is a long race for these guys. Elise has dove for a soft compound. Right now, Ross and Molly on a soft compound. Let's see, these guys about 17 seconds off ahead of them. They're just going through the tunnel now. These guys should collect these guys pretty quickly. Yeah, 9 seconds. Where are these guys at now? Safety car might come in the end of this lap. We'll have to keep an eye out because Carrito has caught up to these guys now. Elise isn't too far behind and Wilson's not too far behind. Safety car is coming in this lap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what Paps does on this restart. Probably gonna bunch these guys up as much as he can. Putting that temperature into those medium compounds, you gotta wait for that car, the safety car, to come in. It's kind of a long stretch. I've seen a lot of guys gun it a little early and then the game catches them off. Paps, where are you going? That's not the right way. He goes now for the restart here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Can Morris hold on to these guys ahead of him? Going into turn one, keep an eye. We have a move for the Mercedes. That's Bravo going in for the inside of Elise. It looks like he's gotten the job done. Oh, what has happened to Paps? Paps has lost the Haas. He's down the P. This is going to put Ryan into the lead. He's got Morris right behind him. Is Morris going to have... What is... Yeah, okay. Morris putting that Merc power to use. Can he get closer? No, he's going to stay behind in P2. I'm only going to have a look on the inside of that. Oh, that was... Oh, there's going to be Bravo stuck in that as well. Oh, he's on through. Ross having an incident there. A bit of a moment. That's going to see the Mercedes. Oh, jeez. Okay. It's getting a bit punchy there. That's right on board with the Ferrari driver. These guys, I think, getting caught out by the temperature in the tires. That's a bit deep. Oh, yeah. Both Ferrari drivers now having a go at each other. It's Wilson and Allow Your Face coming into the turn. Who's gonna see one on a hard compound, one on a medium compound? These guys really punchy on the restart. Oh, look at that move. AlphaTauris. Oh, who's that? I think there was contact between the two drivers there. I'm sure that will be looked at by the steward team afterwards. Paps gets a 3-second time penalty. So that was Ross, and that was Seal having a bit of a moment. Paps into the pits. Carrito now, so ABR Ryan holding on the lead, but he's getting chased down by Morris, who passes him. Mercedes into the lead of this race. Molly holding on to P3. Bravo now in P4. Lap 17, and a lot of things have just kicked off for this race. We have Allow Your Face going up for the inside look at Elise. Easy does it, guys. Not a lot of room for mistakes here. Elise falls down behind Allow Your Face. Wilson might have a look in a moment's time, but he is on a hard compound compared to Elise's soft compound. Abdi having a look on the inside of Bravo, backs out of it. Bravo goes a bit deep on the exit. We know that Honda power in that AlphaTauri is rather quick. And Morris puts a gap between himself and Ryan, 1.1. See if Moley can catch the back of Ryan. Morris sets the fastest lap of the race, 140.3. Bravo's gonna pull into the pits. Not sure what for. New front wing, and he's gonna serve a 5-second. Alright, so my daughter's gonna help me co-commentate for a second. She's watching. Carrito gets himself a 3-second time penalty. You see the cars racing around? You want dinosaur? Have the dinosaur. We're playing dinosaurs and watching a race. Morris gets a 3-second time penalty that could be crucial at the end of this race. We have Ryan chasing him down. He's within DRS range. Can he do anything with that power? And that Alfa Romeo, it is a Ferrari power unit, but I don't know if he's going to get close enough. Ross gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So the only two drivers left in this race that do not have a time penalty is Bravo and Moley. We have a Sector 3 yellow. Who could that be for? That is Seal, unfortunately, hitting the wall again. He's going to have to pit. Allow Your Face moves on through. Hubdy, Jake Wilson there, just ahead of Elise. Carrito back in P8. Paps 30-second gap between himself and Carrito ahead of him. Ross is starting to catch Paps, and Bravo is catching Ross ahead. Can he get within that DRS range? Oh, it's just there. Will he have DRS coming down this back or the straight? Oh, gets the car a little out of shape. No DRS for that Mercedes driver. Lap 19 out of 31. Seal putting on a new front wing for that Aston Martin. On his way out of the pits now. Puts on a used set of medium compounds. So Morris holding on to the lead. Can Moley get closer to Ryan? We have a move of Curito and Elise pulls into the pits. That's going to be the reason why. Soft compounds probably scrubbed by now. Ross is putting pressure on Pappas ahead. AlphaTauri versus Haas. You would expect AlphaTauri to be the quicker car, but we know Pappas is a quick driver. See what Ross can do here. Oh, Ross! Oh, talk about drifting around the corner. That's gonna open up him an attack with Robbo ahead, or Robbo behind. Gonna give Robbo DRS as well. There's Seal coming out of the pits. What's gonna happen between these guys? Actually, that was actually Elise, so Robbo loses a bit of time through that exit to Ross just ahead. Elise is gonna have DRS. Oh, Ross is gonna have DRS on Pappas ahead. All of a sudden, this midfield has gotten crazy. We have Wilson really putting pressure on the AlphaTauri ahead of him. As you see Hubs go into the wall. No damage to the front wing, unless I'm having one of those crazy races where I don't see any damage be collected unless the whole entire front wing gets knocked off. Wilson has put himself up to P5. His teammate ahead of him. I wonder if his teammate is going to help him out here in this race. We have Sector 1 yellow. Oh no, Seal has lost the Aston Martin yet again. He has Ryan coming up to pass him. As Moley's pulled into the pits, getting off his scrub soft compound. That's going to put him down the order. Wilson the man on a charge. Hard compounds under the safety car. He's found himself up to P4. Does have Hubdy just behind. Whoa, Hubdy drifting as well. All right, take a look down. Ross putting pressure underneath Pappas in that Haas. Ross gets on through. Elise is looking for it. No, Pappas is going to hold on. Oh, this is going to get a bit dicey. Oh, no. Contact between Elise and Ross. Elise putting his front nose right into Ross's gearbox. These guys getting a bit more of a contact there. Is Ross going to have a look at Pappas going into this corner? He's going to be close enough that he's going to hold right behind. Yeah, this battle going on. I'm sorry, my daughter's right next to me going, reaching for everything up here. See what Ross can do going into this entry. Can he get a run on Pappas ahead in that Haas? DRS is his. He's going to gain, but not close enough for a move in turn 1. How about Elise just behind? We'll run on board with these guys as they go through. I'm keeping an eye on Hubdy as Wilson ahead. Lap 22 out of 31, so we have 9 laps remaining in this race. Ross has DRS on Paps. I know Paps is probably pressing that ERS. Is this going to be a 3-way battle for P8? I'm going to... Oh, okay. That was close. Ross did the smart thing and backed out of that. This battle going on is quite intense. Paps really doing everything he can in that has to hold ahead of Elise as Elise gets a look on the inside. Ross gets a little out of shape. Both have DRS. Is Ross or Elise close enough? Holds the outside, but no. Alright, my wife was kind enough to take the daughter away so I can focus on the last few laps here, but Elise gets around Paps. Can Ross have the same kind of move going into the DRS on the start-finish straight? Paps is going to have DRS though. Right now Morris 4.5 separates himself from the lead of ABR Ryan. Allow your face 12 seconds down the road from Ryan. Can at least put a little bit of distance between himself and Paps. Get away from that DRS. Ross having quite a run here. No, Paps is going to get DRS. But Ross is in an AlphaTauri. Can I have a look on Paps? Nothing doing just yet. Got to keep an eye on the other Delta. Right now, this is the closest battle going on track. That Haas driver doing what he needs to do. Oh, Seal's gotten a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. I wonder if he's going to call it an evening. Hasn't gone his way this evening. Oh, he's going to continue to push. Props to the man. Ross gets around Paps. Paps slips to 10th. Elise gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's take a gander at 10 time penalties, actually. So right now, Morris has 3 seconds. Ryan has 3 seconds. Allow Your Face has 3. Jake, unfortunately, has 5 seconds to his name. Hubs is 3. We have Carito on 3. Molly is clean as a whistle. We have Elise on 9 seconds. We have Ross Plum on 3 seconds. Paps is on 3 seconds. Rabo, clean as a whistle as well. And Seal is up to 8 seconds. So right now, Molly can make up a lot of distance if he can get close enough to Carito 5 seconds down the road. Because Carito is about 8 seconds off the guys ahead of him. Let's see what Molly can do on these closing stages. Let's see if he can keep himself clean. Right now, Hubs putting pressure on Wilson, our championship leader. What can Hubs do? AlphaTauri versus Ferrari here on lap 24. Jake not too far off of his teammate ahead. Bravo sets the fastest lap in that Mercedes with a 39.2. Wonder if Jake is feeling a little bit of pressure with that driver just behind him. Hubdy in that AlphaTauri. You know that Honda power is quick. Hubs catches the car, has a bit of a moment. Still staying within that DRS though. I wonder if Allow Your Face will back off just a little bit to help Jake. We'll see. Teammates in the Ferrari. We know Jake is leading the championship. We'll see if Allow Your Face plays teammate this evening. Maybe he pulls out a Bottas card. Only time will tell. Hubs DRS. On paper, the Ferrari is a faster car than the AlphaTauri, but we can't look at that because the Constructors' Championship is being led by the AlphaTauri team. Keep an eye on the other battles happening down the field. Everybody kind of spaced out. So right now, Hubs versus Jake, closest on track. Jump on board with that Ferrari driver. In a rear view mirror of that AlphaTauri just behind him. Lap 25 out of 31. Closing stages here in this race. A lot of guys having a tricky start to the race. Unfortunately, in this race, we've lost out Bill, Operator, and Panta. Bill being third in the championship. This could hinder his points just a bit as Hubs goes a bit deep on that exit. Jake Wilson gets a time penalty to his name. Singapore can be grueling and unforgiving, especially in these closing stations. I know these guys have to be tired. Seal gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Jake is closing in on his teammate, though. I wonder if Allow Your Face is starting to back off just a bit. We'll see what happens as Hub D is pulled into the pits. I wonder what he's going to do here. No front wing, but he's going to go for a soft compound for the remainder of this race. Maybe trying to pit a extra 3 points for the fastest lap. 3 points towards the fastest lap here in SF1. See what he does. He is going to come out ahead of Elise. Elise just now coming across the start-finish line. Hubs is on his way now on a soft compound, as well as Paps. Paps has done the same. I missed that at some point. Keep an eye on the rest of the field. Lap 26 out of 31. Can't Allow Your Face get any closer to Ryan. The two Ferraris are going to duel here in Singapore, it looks like, because Jake has pulled up with his teammate. Rabo gets a 3-second time penalty. As Moley has caught the back end of Carita, we're wide on board with this battle. We'll jump back with the Ferrari team in just a bit. Paps gets a 3-second time penalty. Can Moley get a good exit here and get the DRS to go past that Williams? It looks like that's going to be the case. Moley pushing. Moley up to P5. Jump back with the battle between the two Ferrari guys. Interesting to see what's going to happen here. Jake with DRS on his teammate. Will Allow Your Face to let him through. We'll see. Jump on board with Ferrari drivers. Oh, Jake gets a little deep. Tags the wall. Does have DRS on his teammate, though. I have a feeling those hard compounds are coming in. Jake holds just behind his teammate, staying patient. Wonder how Allow Your Face's medium compounds feel right now. Two Ferraris and the Alfa Romeo have had a good race this evening. I will have to say that. Alfa Romeo being in P2 right now. Performance-wise, really down on power, but it just pays a test to how great of a driver Ryan is. The pace he can put in those slower cars. I know he was dreading coming in here this evening, but he's going to get a podium out of it as things stand here in lap 27. I have a feeling Paps could have done the same had he not gone for Haas. Good to see Paps, though. I'm glad he's decided here. I'm not decided, but I'm glad he was made this evening. Cheers to that, man. He's the two Ferraris now neck and neck with each other. Will they play nice, or are they going to battle for this position? The final step on the podium, we're going to find out. Keep an eye on the other deltas right now. This is the closest, lap 28. 3 laps remain. Hubs gets a 3-second time penalty. I saw that exit on Jake. Got a little out of shape. Not close enough for a move. Just gonna stay patient behind. Allow your face still. Allow your face and Jake are gonna make Matteo a very, very happy man at the end of this race. Looking at P3 and P4. But Molly's 10 seconds down the road, depending on the time penalties between these two. One of them could slip down, and Molly could steal that P4, so they don't want to hold each other up too long. Watching the gap between Molly and Jake, it's staying about steady. It's 10.6. Give you guys some onboard action here. Allow your face is doing one heck of a job though, holding on to P3 with his teammate barreling down behind him. DRS is his. Is Jake close enough this time? No, he backs out of it. .2 seconds separate themselves from Molly behind, who does not have a penalty to his name. So these guys need to sort it, because Molly is coming up the road. Burrito gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Jake's not quite ready to make a move yet. Singapore is one of the hardest places to make a pass, that is for sure. Carito has a moment that puts Hubdy up in position. Hubdy is on a soft compound as well. Molly 8.5 separates himself from Jake just ahead. We'll keep the penalties off and we'll be surprised at the end. What a thing to watch. These guys, especially with a Ferrari team, I would have never guessed that they were going to win the Belgian Grand Prix, but Jake proved me wrong last week, and now we have a duel under the lights here at the Marina Bay Circuit between the two Ferrari drivers. You see Jake has DRS. I wonder if Allow Your Face is just charging his battery and trying to defend. We'll see what happens in the closing stages. 2 laps to go. We are on the penultimate lap of this race, round 6. With Ryan holding on to P2 and Morris leading the way in that Mercedes. Bet Morris is happy he decided to reserve this evening. With Phil being out, Morris was able to pick up that Mercedes as Wilson's gonna think about it on lap 30. The Life Face is gonna come back. Are they gonna go side by side? Nope. So, Jake does get past Allow Your Face with DRS, but goes a bit deep on the entry, allowing Allow Your Face to have a switchback move. So maintaining P3 and P4 between the two. Keep an eye on that delta for the rest of these guys. It is a good recovery drive from Jake to get himself pretty much right near his closest competitor on the table, which would be Ryan. Right now, Jake leading the championship. Ryan in P2. Unfortunately, Bill, who was in P3 in the championship, has crashed out of this race. I know he wasn't looking forward to Singapore Grand Prix. And I will say this. At the beginning of the signups of this season, I asked these guys to vote for the tracks that they wanted on the calendar. And Singapore was one of the highest voted tracks, so it's why it's on here. It's why we're racing under the lights. Coming up to the final lap of this race, what is going to happen between the two Ferrari drivers? Are they going to make contact? Jake's going to go for a move around Allow Your Face. Looks like Allow Your Face is going to, not succeed. What's that word? Will Allow Your Face have a run back at Jake? I think his medium compounds are starting to get a bit torn up. He's gonna have DRS on his teammate. He's a little far back. As Elise goes around Carrito. Allow your face not close enough, but we'll jump on board with this man. Where's he at? He's coming around sector 2. Once he grabbed the lead, Morris hasn't looked back. What a wonderful drive from the Mercedes driver this evening. Ryan in P2. Jake in P3. Both of those guys keeping this championship really interesting as Ross and... Oh, Ryan has gotten another time penalty. Bravo has made a move around the AlphaTauri driver. Coming up to this man who's coming around the final couple corners. Ladies and gentlemen, CSC Morris in that Mercedes is going to win round 6 at the Singapore Grand Prix. Brian is going to cross the line in P2. Will that stay? Let's get the Delta back up. Crosses the line P2. Will he hold on? I think Jake is a little further down the road. I hear the fireworks. I don't see the fireworks, unfortunately. Jake is going to cross the line in P3. Will he stay P3? No, Aliveface takes it. How about Moley? Is he going to jump up into a podium? No, he can only split the Ferrari driver's P4 for the McLaren driver. Hub's coming up to the line now. As Paps finishes P11. Seal finishes P12. Hubby stays P6. Bravo slips up between Ross Plum. Elise stays P7. Carrito on his first drive with that Williams is going to come across P8. Might be a bit disappointed in that performance. These two battling it out for the end of this race. Ross versus Bravo. See where these guys cross the line when it comes to time penalties. But crossing the line now, Ross takes P9, Bravo stays P10. And that is going to do it for this evening's race. I'll give you guys a full rundown of the race results. And then we'll be off to see you next week. Fortunately, like I mentioned, I can't do podium interviews. My splitter cable for my audio is completely trashed. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, a full rundown of the race. Round 6 for this championship at Realistic. CSC Morris, reserving for the Mercedes, picks up the win in place of Phil. We have Ryan finishing on the podium in P2. We have Allow Your Face P3. SF1 Moley P4. Our championship leader P5. Jake. We have Hubdy in P6. Elise finishes P7. Carrito in his first drive in the Williams P8. We have Ross P9. Bravo P10. Paps P11, Seal P12, and unfortunately, the drivers we've lost out this evening is Bill P13, Operator P14, and Panta P15. I would do podium interviews at this moment, but I can't get these guys' audio to come through, so I'll make sure I get that by next week, I promise you guys. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're off to the Australian Grand Prix for round 7 next week. Make sure you tune in SF1 Roads in the comms booth. This is SF1 Realistic for Sunday Night Racing. It has been a pleasure. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll be back next week to watch these guys tackle the Melbourne Street Circuit as well. But until then, we will see you guys next week. Cheers. SF1 is signing out.